Hi folks, it's Rob. Rather than give you a standard email as a wrap-up for our webinar today, I thought I would send you this YouTube to give you some images along with a recap of the main concepts and approaches that we talked about today. We had talked about the 5 reasons and how they are a handy tool for you to understand for your buyers what are the value drivers most important to them and are making them proceed in terms of considering or talking about Radiesse. We had said you can use them to analyze and try to understand what's in it for my buyer if I'm going to ask them to meet with me or ask for some other commitment. So the steps for you would be to think through what's the potential value for this buyer in meeting with me or purchasing it or whatever it is you're going to ask for, and then you can prepare to make that request using the 5 reasons in that manner. So not only is it a good analysis tool, it's a good strategy and tactical creation tool as well. For those physicians who say, well, I don't think I want to hear about Radiesse right now, and those who are hesitant, we understood that there's going to be some who are in the don't ever call me bucket, and there's going to be some that, well, if there's enough value in there for them, they might actually, in fact, give you an audience. And that really there's only one question we can ask, and that is there anything I can provide that will change your mind in terms of hearing more about Radiesse? If that physician or that buying influence can give us something, then that at least gives us an opportunity to provide that and perhaps get an audience with them. We'd also talk further that if there are physicians who just say, no, I'm not interested, that it's okay to say no, and that we'd leave those physicians either to call back later or just leave off our list until the landscape changes, such that they would in fact take a call from us and agree to meeting. We had talked about for the purchase piece that if we can have our math ready to present to physicians as far as that $2,000 to $3,000 investment up front, that we can make a more illustrative and compelling case and have the conversation flow more smoothly. So if the numbers are there and really clear, that we can show that through the rebate program they'll in fact make that money back, or if they choose a charge the patient option for the trial, that in fact there would be no money lost for them. So having those numbers down will help make for a smoother conversation and quite frankly a more effective conversation, so that both of you can see and analyze the numbers and make a meaningful decision based upon those numbers at that time. We had talked about understanding the mindset of our buyer and what buying mode they're in is important. That the 5 reasons tool is a feet on the street analysis tool, and buying modes help us understand at 5,000 feet where a buyer's mindset is. Do they see a growth opportunity in the practice that Radiesse might help them with? As in our oak tree, do they see something more like our hurricane slide where there's some trouble in the practice and that they might need some help taking care of that trouble? Or are they in even keel mode when things are sailing along smoothly, or in fact like our little boy here, smug and overconfident? We had said that the degree of likelihood of buying is high in growth and trouble, and medium in even keel, and low to nil in overconfidence. So as a sales approach, you would like to try to get your buyers either into growth or trouble, and if they're in even keel or overconfident, consider saying no at this time and parking them so that you can spend your time working on opportunities that are more likely or have a higher probability of turning into a yes. We had discussed covering your bases within existing accounts so that we can feel secure that we've done all that we can to make sure those existing accounts are shored up and happy. Covering your bases means having a checklist of things that you think you should be able to check off to say, yeah, I've done what I could, and I think that this account's shored up and is healthy. So we have this list here, and at the end, this last question, we had suggested probing for problems and being specific, knowing that our buyers might be too nice to say anything that's not working well, or may in fact have had a problem that they thought was a hiccup and had forgotten about. We want to make sure we draw those out so that we can make things as smooth as possible and ensure that if we've sold product in, we have retention and have usage of the product, so it will continue to sell through, so we can stimulate reorder. So in summary then, we had discussed a whole bunch of stuff today. Using the 5 reasons to learn buyers' motivators, showing what's in it for them when you're requesting any kind of commitment from a buyer, be it either a purchase or a meeting or to attend one of your events, preparing your math up front so that you can have a good conversation and minimize that roadblock in terms of, $2,000 to $3,000 seems like a lot of money as an initial purchase. Seek to learn their buying mode, what's their mindset, why are they looking to move forward in any way, shape, or form in considering Radius. It's okay to say no to those opportunities that look like it's just not going to go anywhere for now, because we know that's going to free up time to work on opportunities that will go somewhere. And finally, cover your bases within your existing accounts. The first rule in sales is keeping what you've got and making sure that you get sufficient and adequate product flow through. So thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate your enthusiastic participation today. And where to next, you'll see an email from me setting up the next webinar, which will be in around 3 weeks' time. And we'll be asking you for some ideas in terms of topics so that the webinars are still continuing to bring value to you. Thanks a lot.